If you command it, it's yours. We are shifting into the Christ consciousness right now, the fifth dimension, the new earth. And along with this comes this recognition of the God within, the Christ consciousness within, which means now more than ever before, it is much easier for you to be able to command and decide and choose for something to be your reality, for something to occur for you, to you, for others, and have it be so. If you command it so, it is so. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliet Cleary. I'm a manifestation coach helping you to quantum jump to your highest timeline. And if you resonate with this message, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap that bell icon. If you would like to work together, that information's in the description box below for you, as well as the link to my meditation channel. We're stepping into a really powerful time right now, especially this year, but it's going to continue to accelerate, where we are, well, more of us are stepping into our full power and realizing and remembering the God within, stepping into that Christ consciousness, which means being able to command your reality to be what you want it to be, commanding whatever you want, in your reality, commanding for things to shift or to change and having it happen, having it be so. We have always been able to do this, but now there is a rising collectively in our consciousness, in frequency, which means that we are more clearly remembering our power, remembering who we are, and knowing ourselves as God. And when you think about Jesus, or Yeshua, as some people say it, he was not someone who was trying to create a religion or a following. He achieved this high frequency, this Christ consciousness, where he knew his power completely. He knew his worth, so he knew he could command things into reality. He could declare something, he could decide something, he could choose it, and it would just be. And he knew that it would be. And so that's what we're actually tapping into now, the Christ consciousness within us of knowing we are this powerful and that we can command things from a place of knowingness and from a place of wholeness. So the other part of this that's very important to acknowledge is that many people are trying to create or change their reality from lack, from separation, and from, need. I'm not whole so I need this. I don't feel good, so I need that, right? Even if you're not phrasing it in that way, that's usually the energy that most people are, whether it's through manifestation or it's just through, working your normal job. You don't even have any idea of mindset. It's the way that most of us have been doing it. Because as we're making this shift into the fifth dimension, meaning a fifth dimensional consciousness, right? It's not really a place. It will be reflected in our outer projection, our outer realities, but it is a state of consciousness. So as we're shifting into this fifth dimensional consciousness, that is unconditional love. It's light, it's love, and it's really presence. It's the power of the present moment. And it means that we are going to be living our lives, but also, of course, manifesting from wholeness and fulfillment first. Meaning that that's who we're going to be. That's how we're going to be functioning. That's who we're, like, the new patterns that we're going to be creating, the new cycles that are actually beginning to come into play now. It is creating and commanding from, yes, knowingness, yes, confidence, but wholeness and fulfillment. There is no attachment to the outcome. There is a decisiveness and knowingness, like I said, about the outcome, but like that trust, like you just know it's done, or I've commanded it, so it is so. I've decided, so it is so. But it's not from this attachment to it, like I still kind of need it. And if it doesn't, like what if it doesn't, like again, can you see that it's like you kind of shrink down, you kind of play small. And that's the thing to remember about this Christ consciousness that Jesus or Yeshua had, where he would command people be well or healed, right? And they were. And that's because he didn't question it. That's because he just trusted, like he knows, he understands, he remembers, and he understands how this works. And that's why I've always said, if your number one goal is to more often, not all the time, be living at a higher frequency. That does not mean that you're super happy and excited 24/7 or anything like that. You could be just calm. You could be just present, just kind of at peace or chilled out, right? Or just interested in something. But you're more in alignment. You're more in a higher frequency more of the time. That is your goal. That is who you are. That's how you're tuning yourself with the choices that you're making. You will more so not only attract things effortlessly into your life, but you will more remember who you are, your power, and have and hold this knowingness that I know a lot of you are looking for. It's really a decision. Again, it's not something you need to try and achieve or find. It is this remembrance and this decision and to really like step into that. Because many of us, when we're doing like some sort of manifesting process, we might state it, or you might visualize it, or affirm it, or script it, or whatever. We meditate on it. And then, we're like, okay, it's done. But then we kind of go back and forth of like, is it done? Should I do more? Did I do it right? Is it going to happen? Right? And that's okay. You can allow those thoughts to come because they will most likely be there, right? But they're just thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And the thoughts are not attached to you. Just because a thought comes up doesn't mean you have to attach to it like, oh yeah, this is me, right? That's really the fifth dimensional consciousness of realizing I am that I am. I am who I say I am. So yes, I can be this thought, but I can also be that thought, right? I can be this person or I can be that person. I can go this way, I can go that way. I'm free to choose. I am that I am. You can have those thoughts come up, simply be neutral to them, just observe them and let them go. They'll pass, just like a breeze flowing through. Everything is always in movement. You don't have to attach to it, right? So you can let them be there, but don't attach to them, which means you don't really react to them. That's the thing, right? You don't really react to it. But it's done when you decide it's done. When you choose to know, when you choose to come into this, again, this fifth dimensional kind of state, but also this confidence, right? This knowingness of like, yes, I choose this. I know this. Ooh, there's like such a big misconception where so many people, and I know I thought this for the longest time, think that there's something that you need to do or fix in order to simply know, to decide, to command, to say, this is what it is. This is how I now am. This is who I am. This is what I now choose to be or to feel, to show up as. Like even to shift identity, you're doing it every single moment. Every single moment you're literally a different person. And yet there's this total misconception that you still need to do something. You need to fix something and you need to do a bunch of different things even in order to be this new person, in order to simply choose to know. Like I'm talking like in one moment you might be saying, oh, well, in this situation, I really don't know what to do. And in that exact moment, you can actually choose to know that you know exactly what to do. And either it'll come in that moment, or either it'll come later that day or another day. It'll flow through you. The answer and solution will flow to you and through you. But again, it can't do that when you're in lower levels of consciousness, because that's where the problems are. That's not where the solutions are. Like, you don't realize that you can simply choose in this moment. Like, this may seem trivial, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't really know. I don't really have any good ideas right now. It might be for content or creativity or whatever it is. I'm like, I just don't have any ideas. I really don't know. And I catch myself. I don't always catch myself, but a lot of times, especially recently, I catch myself, and in that same moment, I make the opposite choice. I choose to know. Actually, I have a lot of amazing ideas. I'm a content creating machine. I know exactly what I'm doing. I am great at this. And again, you're not trying to convince yourself of anything. You're not trying to change anything. You're just shifting identities. You're just shifting basically in consciousness. You're coming into this level of confidence and knowingness again, that you're commanding that you're now this person, or you now know it. And people don't realize that they can do this in any and every moment. You can simply choose. You can simply decide. And so you can command, like Jesus would, anything to be as you want it to be. Again, he would not question his power, or if it could be done, or might it happen. That's really what you want to mirror, right? It's not this even like arrogance or ignorance or anything like that. It is simply the understanding of who you are at your core. And the thing is, our physical mind, whatever you want to label it as, ego, physical mind, the old self or subconscious mind, whatever, it's all kind of the same thing in my eyes. But your physical mind, this old personality, really doesn't want you to use, or it doesn't want you to know that you can actually choose that easily. It'll come up with all these lies, all these stories, all these things, because otherwise it's not running the show. Your soul is, your spirit is, this higher level of consciousness is, this other identity kind of is, your higher self. That's what it is. You're living as your higher self, not your physical mind. And when you manifest from your higher self, as your higher self, instead of just from the limited physical mind, the ego, the personality structure, but when you combine both and you're manifesting from the higher mind, the higher self instead, magic. Then you can easily command or declare or decide things into your reality, or things to be as you desire them to be, not from lack or need, but just knowing your power. This is what I choose. This is what is. And again, this physical mind, ego part of you is what it tricks you into thinking that's who you are. That's not who we are. And it wants you to play small, to keep you safe. This is not in judgment, because I really don't believe it's helpful at all to invalidate these parts of yourself. We want to work with them, right? But not allow it to run the show, because it runs kind of from survival. It's very fear-based, and it keeps you small. And so if you try to even use words like choose and decide and I declare and I command, and you try to show up with that confidence, usually sometimes you'll immediately just feel like, oh no, but like me, like who, me? Or you'll feel guilt, or like shame or some sort of emotion of like, no, I can't do that, right? But you can. So it's just, again, not judging any of those emotions or those thoughts or any of that, but simply observing it, rising above it, and doing this anyway. Choosing what you want and commanding that into reality, therefore that will collapse down into form. As you know, everything is energy, everything is frequency, and there are infinite potentials, infinite possibilities for everything. And they all exist as a wave of energy. And when you place your attention on this potential, this wave of energy, it collapses down into form, it collapses down into matter. When you're making choices all throughout your day, do you realize that you're collapsing waves down into matter? Whether it's you're stating something, like I'm saying, you're declaring something or commanding something, you're stating or affirming something with that fifth dimensional confidence and conviction. With actions or behaviors, with different choices, different reactions, and especially emotions that match your future, right? Future. It's all happening now. You're collapsing these potentials down into form, down into form. You don't realize, or we don't realize, because me too, right? I forget sometimes how powerful we really are because we just get caught up in the illusion, right? It's a beautiful illusion. It's a beautiful movie, a beautiful play, right, that we're experiencing. And it's important, it's a real experience. The experiences are real, but it is the physical part of it is an illusion, and it is an illusion that we're this small human that's not powerful and that can't have the things we want, because we have everything, we own everything, we are everything. So this is basically an invitation to you to remember this Christ consciousness and to start to wake it up within you. Start to wake up and recognize it is that easy. If you were like watching this video and thinking, could it really be that easy though? Could it be that simple? Yes. Okay, yes. If you're watching these videos, this is directly like a message to you, for you. I often feel that some of my ideas or the things that come through me in videos are meant for certain people to hear. And because everything's happening all at once or existing all at once, that I'm connecting to people in the future, which is now, but in the future who are going to be watching this and they're thinking things or they're having questions, and I'm filming this now a while before I put it out, but because it's happening at the same time, I'm tuning into that and I'm able to, I'll get ideas, I'll just have things flow through. And I know they're going to serve the people who are watching. So if you're watching this and you're resonating with it, it's meant for you. So follow through. Activate this Christ consciousness. Step into the role of the master, because you are. I know we play small. I know we play the victim sometimes. And we came here to kind of put on that costume in order to take off that costume and realize in this physical experience that we are masters. We're masters who have been wearing costumes. We're masters who have played the victim, who have felt we are imprisoned in our body, imprisoned in our workplaces, our money, our relationships, different circumstances and situations. But we put it there. We designed this game. We designed the game to live it in this way. Start to practice this. Start to actually be very decisive of what's now true for you, who you now are, what you now know. Anytime you're saying, I don't know, change it. I do know. I always receive the right information exactly when I need it. It's that simple. If you say that with this confidence, with that Christ confidence, the Christ consciousness confidence, you transmute the old energies, you shift identity, you shift timelines in the moment, and you've changed everything instantly. You're that powerful. So start to own that, live it, practice it until it feels natural to you. You can have it all because you already do, because you are it all. So start to command it into your reality now and fully expect. No insistence, no attachment, but expect that if you command it so, it is so. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, if you have any comments or if you're experiencing anything with this new shift in consciousness, I want to hear it. So comment below, please. Give this video a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. And if you would like to work together, that information is in the description box below. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.